Salutations, my Fallout lovers. It is Matty here today, bringing you a Fallout 4 wishlist video on a Sunday. It usually comes on a Thursday, but I apologize as it was delayed due to some Fallout 4 news, and then a new Fallout game came around the corner. So, anyways, this series is created by your comments, so be sure to let me know in the comments section down below what you would like to see in the next installment of the Fallout franchise. If your comment is awesome enough, then you will be featured in this series along with two other commenters, just like the Vault Boy. And he says, I would like to be able to use parts of enemies as weapons. For example, you can use the Rad Scorpion Stingers as a melee weapon by attaching it to a board. So, I really like this idea of makeshift weapons. And maybe not the attaching to a board part. Like, I just think the idea of just ripping off a Rad Scorpion Stinger, and then you have a melee weapon that poisons your foes, and you can kind of hit them and like backstep a little bit and let them die off, I think is a pretty cool idea. But it got me thinking of other makeshift weapons in Fallout that you could really actually more so create. I wouldn't say makeshift, such as the Deathclaw's Gauntlet. You know, being able to use your enemies as your own weapon, I think is a very cool idea. So I thought to myself, yeah, you know, it makes hunting maybe perhaps a part of the game where you collect certain body parts of an enemy and you can combine them into something nuts. I think that would be a cool idea. But being a little more real here, I think the best example is from the Vault Boy himself with the Rad Scorpion Stinger. I mean, yeah, you could, you know, take off a Deathclaw's claw and use that. I think that would be cool. And I'm sure you guys have come up with some examples, but that was the one that came to mind instantly. So I like the idea of makeshift weapons. And thank you, Vault Boy, for your simple yet awesome wish. Moving on to probably my favorite wish of this episode from Matt Sean. He sent me a message on my Facebook fan page just like you can. He said, in Fallout 4 there should be a better flashlight. In Fallout 3 in New Vegas, the flashlight is just a bit of the area around you. You should be able to choose between the classic light and one that affects what you are looking at like a real flashlight. Also, you can change the brightness. So, this is really crucial for a number of reasons. Number one, when you turn on your flashlight in Fallout 3 or New Vegas, it's either one of two things. It's way too dim, or when you're in areas, it's way too bright and it's reflecting off of everything and you can't see what's like in front of you on shelves and stuff. So I agree that they should make it into potentially different modes where you have, yes, your area kind of light that's a lot brighter, or like well balanced, I should say. Since he said you can adjust brightness, I think that would work. But also, yes, a classic flashlight. That would be awesome. How it would work, I'm trying to imagine, because the Pip-Boy is kind of on your wrist, so maybe you could point out your wrist and you'd have to use like a one-handed weapon, perhaps. That would make a little bit of sense. But I really want this idea, and I really don't see Bethesda skipping out on a simple idea such as this. So I really think we can expect to see this in the next game. It's kind of one of those features that I foresee being added. Anyways, moving on to the final wish from X, the Lone Wanderer MCX. He says, how about making radiation an actual threat instead of, oh no, you done got radiated, -1 strength? And yes, holy shit, yes. Now, obviously, there are little dead spots in the wasteland where radiation, it gets like +20 and you just drop dead because your radiation bar fills in half a second. But I'd like it to be a little more threatening than that. When I go into an area with radiation and it just says like +3 every second, you know, I'm like, alright, I'm just going in and out real quick. There's no real rush. I like it if it actually, instead of, like you said, just giving you -1 strength or something like that, it did something a little bit more threatening. I can't really name any examples that come to mind, but something that, as you got sicker, maybe your guy like threw up, maybe you didn't run as fast, or something along those lines, to kind of hinder your progress, where you're like, okay, I got to take better care of my character if I want to survive out here, not just, oh, okay, let me take a rat away, I'm good, you know, or like, let me take a Rad-X, run into this area, I'm fine, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things where it's like, I want it to be an actual threat. Now, I'm not trying to make Fallout this grueling, difficult, crazy game, because we're always talking about, you know, oh, I want to survive and hunt for my food, and there's ideas that sound cool on paper. When you put them in a game, they're horrible, but I think making radiation an actual threat wouldn't really break the game, or making it more of a threat, because it technically is a threat. It can kill you. It does make certain areas difficult to explore, but I think bumping up the difficulty of that and making it, like I've said a million times, an actual threat would be cool. So thank you, Vault Boy, Matt Sean, and the Lone Wanderer MC for your awesome suggestions. If you guys want to leave your suggestions and potentially be featured in this series, be sure to let me know in the comments down below what you'd like to see in the next installment of the Fallout franchise. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.